Nikai David is the 50th trans American killed in 2021. The violent death toll against the trans community in America has hit an all-time record high, with the 50th murder of a trans person reported this year alone. Nikai David, a 33-year-old black trans woman, was killed in Oakland, California on Saturday morning around 4 a.m. Police responded to reports of gunshots and found David shot. She later died at the scene. According to local LGBTQ plus publication, the Bay Area Reporter, David had celebrated her 33rd birthday just 1 week before she was killed. Tori Cooper, HIC Director of Community Engagement for the Transgender Justice Initiative, said in a statement that the news of David's death was, quote, disheartening and alarming, end quote. Trans women of color have the highest percentage risk of violent death of any demographic in America.
Any
that
demographic
kills me. That
in
kills
America.
me. That last part is just, wow, trans women of color, the highest percentage.
Now here's something that should make us all very, very angry, right?
Yes.
That this is
It's still a thing.
It's still happening.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think a lot of times what happens, right, is more visibility leads to more violence, right? So when we start to stand up and stand out, unfortunately, this is the result.
Yeah.
But we can do something about it, right? Yeah. By continuing to be authentic and stand up and stand out for them.
In relation to that, I want to highlight that very specifically. At Queer News Tonight, we have literally done hundreds of trans stories. It's very important in our community. It's the political issue. The culture war that the Republicans are doing are aimed at the trans community to win the House and the Senate and eventually the White House back. In our reporting, like last year as we were approaching the end of 2020, we were talking about the record high numbers we hit. And the year before, the record high numbers that we hit.
Right.
There seems to be no stopping this number as it continues to grow. What's interesting to me that we report on here at Aqua Foundation is how the lesbian community is standing up and cares about the trans community.
We do.
Let's talk a little bit about what Aqua does and the foundation. You have an event called TransCon. Tell me a little bit about that.
So it's a multi-day event, and it contains educational portions. It's open to everyone, obviously, but the content is targeted to the transgender community to help them locate resources and get education on how to be safe, right, and how to transition safely and get resources through their employer and other things like that.
How to come out to their parents. I mean, like such incredible workshops that they have.
Yes.
And it's for a whole entire weekend, all day long. And I mean, it's a wonderful, wonderful event.
And I think one of the important things is that the conference is planned by and for trans women and trans folks. So, you know, the trans community gets involved in planning the conference, and they're the ones that select the speakers and get to make the decisions as what's best in the conference for them.
Right. And the workshops that they host, I mean, I know that Patty and I have both been on some of the workshops when they break out into the different groups, and they have a name change clinic, they have a gender marker clinic, they have a clinic where folks who have been victims of domestic violence, what is out there, what are the resources here in Dade County and Broward County for them if they are facing a situation where they're in fear of their life for violence or stalking. So I think it's a fantastic event that Aqua puts together. At the end of the day, it's for the community, and it's us lesbian women making sure that we're taking care of our T's.
Yes.
Well, and I would have to say in closing this story, we're breaking news tonight at Queer News Tonight because we're here at Aqua Foundation's Aqua Affair, and we're very happy to announce, we've heard from Grace Lopez, the executive director of Aqua, that TransCon is going to come back in 2022. There's going to be another commitment to do it in later in the year in 2022. Very important in light of this horrendous statistic of the greatest number of trans people ever violently killed in the United States.
But we must do more, all right?
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ+